What if I told you that Leica is about to redefine what a compact camera can be? The camera that's been on every street photographer's wish list might soon get a successor that breaks all the rules. This isn't just another camera release. This is potentially the culmination of everything Leica has learned over decades of meticulous craftsmanship. Welcome back to Alt Buzz, where today we're diving deep into what might be the most anticipated compact camera of this decade, the Leica Q4. Whether you're a die-hard Leica fan or simply someone who appreciates the perfect marriage of form and function, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Before we get into the juicy details and speculation, if you're new here and love in-depth camera analysis that cuts through the marketing hype, hit that subscribe button. I promise to bring you content that respects your intelligence and passion for photography. The Leica Q series has always represented something special in the world of photography. When the original Q launched in 2015, it brought Leica's legendary quality to a more accessible format. Well, accessible by Leica standards at least. 4 years later, the Q2 arrived with a massive resolution bump and improved autofocus, cementing the Q series as a serious tool for professionals who want quality without the bulk. And then came the third quarter in 2023. Sporting a brand new processor, improved ergonomics, and finally a tilting touchscreen that dragged the Q series into modern times. Each iteration has been carefully considered, refined, and improved. No rushed yearly updates, just deliberate evolution. This slow but steady approach has created something unique in today's tech landscape: genuine anticipation. While other manufacturers bombard us with minor updates every few months, Leica makes us wait, building expectations to fever-pitch levels. And now, as we look toward the horizon, the question on everyone's mind is, what could the Q4 possibly bring to the table that would justify another 4-year wait? The answer might be more revolutionary than evolutionary this time around, because for all its brilliance, the Q series has always had limitations that even the most devoted Leica enthusiasts had to accept. But what if the Q4 finally addresses these long-standing compromises? Let's talk about what might actually be inside the Leica Q4, based on industry whispers and Leica's own trajectory of innovation. The heart of any camera is its sensor, and rumors suggest the Q4 could inherit the same 50-megapixel, full-frame BSI-CM OS sensor found in the M11. But don't expect a simple transplant. This sensor would likely be optimized specifically for the Q series, potentially offering even better dynamic range and high ISO performance. Powering all this might be Leica's next-generation Maestro engine, which would not only handle the massive files produced by that 50-megapixel sensor, but could also enable faster burst shooting and more sophisticated image processing algorithms. Now let's address the elephant in the room: the lens. The Leica Q series has always been defined by its stunning Summilux 28mm f1.7 ASPH fixed lens. While the focal length and aperture will likely remain unchanged, Leica could introduce new optical coatings for improved microcontrast and flare resistance. After all, Leica's reputation was built on its lenses, and they're not about to compromise here. But the real revolution might come in the form of autofocus. The Q3's contrast detection system, while improved, still lags behind the competition in tracking moving subjects. Industry insiders suggest the Q4 could finally introduce a hybrid phase detection and contrast detection autofocus system, a first for a Leica Q camera. This would transform the Q series from a deliberate, methodical shooter into something capable of keeping up with fast-moving street scenes and even sports photography. Perhaps the most game-changing rumor concerns image stabilization. Imagine a Leica Q with 5-axis in-body image stabilization, a feature that would allow for handheld shooting in drastically lower light conditions and smoother video capture. This alone would address one of the biggest limitations of previous Q models. Speaking of video, the Q4 might finally be the Leica that videographers have been waiting for, with potential specs including 8K recording at 24 frames per second and 4K at 60 frames per second, plus an improved Leica Cinelog profile for color grading. The Q4 could become a serious tool for filmmakers who appreciate Leica's unique rendering. The viewfinder experience might also see a significant upgrade with a rumored 6 million dot OLED EVF featuring higher refresh rates, possibly the most detailed electronic viewfinder in any compact camera when it launches. And while the Q3 finally introduced a tilting screen, the Q4 might go all the way with a fully articulating 3.5-inch touchscreen, perfect for vlogging, creative angles, and self-portraits. Connectivity would naturally see improvements too, with Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, USB-C, and HDMI output becoming standard. But the most interesting storage rumor suggests Leica might follow the M11's lead by including an internal 1 terabyte SSD alongside dual SD card slots, providing photographers with incredible backup flexibility and eliminating the need for countless memory cards. Battery life has always been a weakness in compact cameras, but a new lithium-ion battery design might push the Q4 to approximately 600 shots per charge, nearly double what the Q3 currently offers. Finally, improved weather sealing with a full IP53 rating would make the Q4 the most rugged Q-series camera yet, capable of withstanding harsh shooting conditions that would send lesser cameras back to their cases. Of course, not everything is sunshine and roses. The potential challenges and limitations are equally important to consider. For one, all these improvements would undoubtedly come with a significant price increase. The Leica Q3 already costs nearly $6,000. How much higher can Leica push before pricing out even their most dedicated fans? There's also the question of battery life with all these power-hungry features. Even with a new battery design, running that high-resolution sensor, IBIS, and 8K video will demand serious power management. And while a fixed 28mm lens is part of the Q-series DNA, it remains a limitation for photographers who need more reach. Will Leica finally consider a variable focal length option, or at least a companion model with a different fixed focal length? So when might we actually see the Leica Q4 hit the market? Looking at Leica's release pattern, each Q-series camera has arrived approximately 4 years after its predecessor. The original Q came in 2015, the Q2 in 2019, and the Q3 in 2023. Following this cycle, the Q4 would most likely arrive around 2027, with possible teasers dropping in late 2026. However, with competition in the premium compact camera market heating up from brands like Sony and Fujifilm, Leica might feel pressure to accelerate this timeline. An early 2026 release isn't out of the question, though a 2025 launch seems highly unlikely given Leica's methodical approach to product development. As for pricing, each Q-series model has seen a significant increase. The original Q launched at around $4,250, the Q2 at $4,995, and the Q3 at $5,995. If the Q4 introduces major upgrades like IBIS, hybrid autofocus, and 8K video, expect the price to jump again, likely between $6,500 and $7,500 for the standard model. Limited editions or titanium variants could easily exceed $8,000. What we still don't know, and what keeps camera enthusiasts up at night, are the unexpected innovations Leica might introduce. Will they surprise us with computational photography features that blend the analog and digital worlds in new ways? Could they introduce a variable aperture system that maintains image quality while offering more flexibility? Or perhaps a revolutionary focusing mechanism that changes how we interact with our subjects? The truth is, the Leica Q4 represents more than just another camera release. It's a statement about what photography can be when craftsmanship meets cutting-edge technology without compromise. Whether it will truly be the dream compact camera remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, it will be uniquely Leica. So what do you think? What features would make the Leica Q4 your dream compact camera? Would you upgrade from your current Q3, or is this the Leica that finally convinces you to join the Red Dot family? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't already, and maybe sending a super thanks to support more content like this. And don't forget, channel members get access to exclusive camera analyses and behind-the-scenes content that I don't share anywhere else. Until next time, this is Alt Buzz, where we cut through the noise to bring you the signal.